Welcome back, everybody. I thought I'd give you a quick run through on the old Kent Trouvaille. I haven't really covered everything I've got going on this thing. I'll start up front with the cockpit. I did the 780 core handlebars in a kind of a gunmetal gray to match the bike frame. Did Shimano ST200s. On the brakes, the hydraulic brakes, been real happy with those. I converted them over to metallic pads, and that seemed to do a bunch for the braking ability, a lot quicker. Went to the Ori Grips, which are gray, to match the bike itself. My stem is a JG in silver to match the bike. I thought that was pretty cool looking too, but it is a 40 millimeter. I think in another video I said it was a 45, but it's 40. I've got a Jessica headset in it. That's held up flawlessly. I think this is the third one I've used. I've normally in the past bought King Creeks, but for the money, gosh, I haven't had a failure yet, so I could buy a couple of these, three of them, for what a King Creek runs. But I've got the X Fusion Trace 34 millimeter fork in 15 by 100 through axle. That fork's pretty nice fork. It's I haven't done a ton of trail riding with it yet, but what I have done, it's performed flawlessly. Plus, I really like the aesthetic of it. The thing looks good. It looks like a quality piece and feels good riding it. Been able to get the dampening and everything adjusted pretty right on it, and it feels good. Seriously, I've got a Fox 32 on my Giant, and this and the Manitou markers on my two Schwinn's perform every bit as well. If you're not a pro XC racer or something like that, spending $1,000 on a fork is a pretty big reach for most folks. And I don't know why you'd ever need much more than this, like I said, unless you're doing a bunch of jumping. Again, I put the semi-metallic pads in my calipers, and that really did quite a bit for the performance of the brakes. I've got the Advent 9 shifter, which they work flawlessly. I do have a little issue with where the cable comes out of my frame. I'm getting figured out. Berserker Nick gave me a great idea. I'm going to swap the cable side to side, run the hydraulic hose down this side, and run the shift cable on the left side of the frame so I can make a bigger loop around, and it'll be softer, the bin going into the hole in the frame. I'll have to cross them at the bottom in order to get them to work out right. But I've got the Transex dropper post with the lever under the nose of the seat. It's been working flawlessly. Now that I'm used to, reaching for it, it's really not a bad dropper post. It is still handier, if you're doing serious off-roading, you'll want one with a handle on your bars. Again, I'm not, I'm a casual rider when it comes to trails and stuff. I try not to kill myself, and it works just fine for me. I got the Rock Brothers bag under the seat. I always like someplace to put my CO2 cartridges, my multi-tool and stuff. I did not put a water bottle on this bike, so I don't have the water bottle to stuff my tools in. I do have the IXF crankset, which again has been working flawlessly. I've probably got 400 miles now on this bike. It's got to be real close to that, if not more. Rock Brothers pedals, the plastic ones. Friggin' things are awesome for the money. They're like $23 and work incredibly well. I did go to the a Microshift 11 to 46 rear cassette. On the stock derailleur, I had to put the drop bracket on it. You can see that here, the red bracket. I bought it for another bike, so it doesn't match this one. But the derailleur's working flawlessly. I do have a Zito chain guide coming for this bike. I did that on my Schwinn Axum, and the only time I've ever lost a chain on that bike with that chain guide on it was a crash that literally took me out of commission for 3 weeks with, bruised and cracked ribs and a hurt arm. And so I'm a firm believer that it will work okay. If not, I'll go buy an Advent with a clutch. I've got 2 of those on other bikes too, which work flawless. But so far, I haven't had a problem. And with the chainstay protector, it isn't horribly noisy. I do have the tires converted to tubeless, which they've been working flawlessly. I mean, they almost get better with time. These things don't leak a drop of air, overnight, or if I ride another bike and let it sit for a couple days, this thing is always ready to go. But again, I really do like the geometry and the size of this frame. I'm 5'10", and it fits me perfectly. I think I might go to a little bit higher rise bars on it so I can cut my stem down and drop my stem down on the front a little bit. It looks a little ridiculous with that much stem, but I was playing around with spacing and stuff and trying to figure out where I wanted the bars, and this is what I've ended up with. Anyway, I hope you guys are out there enjoying your bikes. Hope you're working on them, riding them, whole works. Again, this kit Trouvaille, for the money, I don't even think it's a entry level bike if you're going to mod it. I think it's, you'd have to spend, the way mine's modded out, I've got, I think about $1,300 total in this bike. And to buy something equivalent, I'd spend that or more at a bike shop. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll let you get out of here. We hope to hear from you soon.